when it comes to pick-me's, girls and or women, these are people who seek consistently to be accepted by the male species. Hi guys, I am your communication bestie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that's been circulating on social media, pick-me's. We've all heard of that term. There's been so many articles written about it. It means a woman who seeks male validation. That's pretty much what a pick-me is. And so sit back, grab your snacks, and let's get into it. The reason I'm making this video is to provide valuable personal development qualities that most women lack. This is not an etiquette type video or shaming women who are pick-me's or who center men. None of that is happening in this video. What I'm doing is pointing out the signs that you might be a pick-me or someone you know might be a pick-me, and how you can curb that to not have your life revolve around a man. Now let's get into it. Definition of a pick-me from the Urban Dictionary. A pick-me is a girl or woman who seeks validation from men by indirectly or directly insinuating that she is not like other girls or women. We've seen this in movies and in any other media representation. The first sign is you downplay other women to look better. Now this one is a big one, and most times we just think you're being a mean girl. But 9 out of 10 times, these women are doing it so that they can get the male approval. What does a woman who downplay other women look like? They say things like, I'm not like other girls, I don't wear makeup like those women, I'm not too much like those women. That could be a clear indicator that that woman is a pick-me. What is usually lacking in these women or girls is self-validation and sisterhood. Because when you know who you are and when you are comfortable with other women, whether you see them successful or not, you don't have to worry about trying to downplay them so that you look good. So the growth tip I can give you: practice affirming your own uniqueness without diminishing others. As this video continues, I will share some examples from videos of other women on the internet who have been pick-me's and are in recovery or have moved past it, and younger women who have had experiences with pick-me's, and then other women who have seen what pick-me's do online. The second sign that you are a pick-me is you take pride in suffering for a man. Now, this can look a many myriad of ways, but the number one indicator is found in every single Tyler Perry movie. Women who are bragging that they hold their men down, meaning that they will be with their man even though he cheats, is unemployed, even when he disrespects and verbally and emotionally or physically abuses them, whilst neglecting your peace.
I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me, I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you. Right. I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting him ready for the night.
That is the woman I'm talking about. Certified pick-me. What's lacking with that type of woman is boundaries and self-worth. They, again, do not know who they are or what value they're bringing to any relationship, so everything will be based and contingent upon this man. A growth tip for women like that is redefine loyalty for yourself and have some self-respect at the center. Let that be what drives you in understanding who you are and your own worth. Now let's get into a video of someone who is showing us what a pick-me might look like on these internet streets. Roll the clip.
I know I'm a woman, but sometimes I feel like other women don't get it. Like, they don't really know how to be a girl's man. And you guys know me. I like, you guys invite me to play video games with you, like GTA, and like you, like we go watch football games together. And you guys know that I am a girl's man. I'm literally a girl's man. And some women don't know that you literally have to be a girl's man to find a man. And I sit with my legs open, and yeah, I drink beer. You guys know I drink beer. Yeah, and I love it. I love it. I love it. It teaches me so much. When I drink beer, it unlocks this thing where I feel, accepted by men. And if you want to be, and the best thing that could ever happen to me is to be accepted by men and to be loved by men. That's the best thing that could ever happen to me. That's the best thing. And these women, they dress like sluts, stuff like that. Like,
Yes!
like, what is that about? Be a woman, be a lady. Men love ladies. Ladies. Ladies.
Listen, I love that video, and all I can say to that is microphones must be expensive for men, okay? I'm tired of men on the internet with microphones and the women who support that nonsense. Let's go to sign number 3, that you are a pick-me. Silence yourself to be chosen. I have people in my circle who silence themselves in order to be chosen. I've seen it all the time. What that looks like is this woman avoids stating their needs, dreams, or truths to keep the peace or be more dateable. And this is evident in women who are single, where whatever opinion they have, they keep it to themselves. They will not share it because they're afraid that this man that has entered their life might judge them or might not choose them. So they will silence their intellect or dumb down how they present themselves so that they could be dateable and then get married. My sweet summer child, that is sad. What is lacking in that woman is authentic communication and self-trust. You don't know how to communicate and you don't trust yourself. So you're gonna be at the mercy of this dude who 9 out of 10 times might emotionally abuse you. And I'm speaking from experience. A growth tip in this case is practice expressing your needs with clarity and courage. Don't be afraid, because any man who wants to be with you should be able to respect your opinions, even if they're different from his, and should be able to find common ground, and you should not be afraid to communicate who you are and show your authentic self. Another example from the internet is a lady who's talking about how her mom was a pick-me and how she discovered that. Roll the clip.
So I just made a video about how I realized my mom was always male-centered, made everything about obtaining a relationship with a man from a very young age in my life. And it's why I had a lot of pick-me type ways well into my late 20s. And now in my 30s, it's like a lot of redemptive work from my late 20s into the early 30s, like really cleaning this up, right? But like moving forward, thinking about this, right? Especially as I watch some Netflix shows like Worst Ex Ever, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, my mama never said anything about a man putting their hands on me, a man being mean to me. Hell, I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about how once upon a time, like the first love of my life, what the fuck ever, at 16, I remember he broke my heart, and I was like crying on the floor in a fetal position, and she never really even properly consoled me about that. But I remember like kind of telling her he did something messed up, and she was like, oh, I don't care, that's still my son. It's like, where was the standard ever established? It wasn't. And and I'm not even blaming her. I'm just going back and following the breadcrumbs to try to figure out, why did I operate like this? Why did I not think a lot more highly of myself? And it's just so funny that I'm like, damn, where were the warnings about a man trying to have sex with me, about a man being like overly controlling, or being more like sex oriented, or, just being, someone that, would take advantage of me? I don't remember getting any warnings about that. I just remember, I can't wait for you to get married. I just hope one day, I hope before I die, you end up with a good man. Like, oh, a man. Oh, I need you to be with a man. Oh, go, everything. Like, bitch, what about my safety? Like, what about me being with someone that's actually going to be a good, upstanding person. Like, none of this was communicated. You didn't even tell me how to like find a person like this. And how could you? You never found him. You never found him. But like, from her place of lack, she just communicated this sense of desperation and urgency. And it's so interesting because in my later 20s, befriending women who would say like, yeah, I hate male-centered women. And I'm like, male-centered women? What's that? And then when I had to realize, she was like, yeah, everything like revolves around a man. And I'm like, hold on. Am I she? And I had to think about it. I was like, damn, if dating is the dominant like conversation, like, yeah, you are pretty much male-centered if you're just always talking about men, dating. Everything's about like marriage. Everything's about like relationships. Like, it's you're male-centered. And I never thought about it because that's how I was raised. My mom just always talked about men and finding a man and being with a man and not being alone. And so, to my surprise, my late 20s into my 30s, and now this year I'll be 33, realizing there's so much more out there. Like I shared in the last video, I was showing my mom how much my hair grew, and she was like, men love long hair. And I was like, bitch. It's so funny. I shared this with my best friend, and she was like, yo, did you see that video going around where they asked like black men what their favorite hairstyle is on black women, and like more than half of them said bobs? Bitch, they gonna like what the fuck they get. Okay, now it's so refreshing to be on this side of the coin where I just don't give a fuck anymore. And it's I love this book. Shout out to Gia Lambert, because he did God's work with this book, Men Don't Love Women Like You. And it's helping me realize that like I've been set up. And for any women out there that are raising little girls, I don't care if you're a single parent or what, please instill in them that they are the most important person in the world, that there's nothing that will ever be more important than prioritizing their happiness, their sense of adventure, their uniqueness. Please do not hinge everything on being in a relationship, because that will do more damage than you could ever imagine. Anywho, that's it.
Now, you saw in her situation, her mother continued to downplay her feelings and everything that she was going through. The pick-me women are not just like people who are now much older, they're in their 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever. Pick-me's can be found at every stage. It is a condition that is instilled in you from when you're young to the point where it just sticks with you. And most women, thankfully, get out of that. To be quite honest, I think every woman has had moments where they were a pick-me for a man. We've all been there, where we've done something that is completely outside of our character or our values or who we are. We are trying to just find companionship. The key to doing better is when you know better, you gotta do better and get out of there. The fourth sign that you might be a pick-me is you believe male validation equals worth. You see how this is all tied to your inner self and who you see yourself as? What does this look like? It's the woman who only feels valuable when a man is choosing them. What's lacking in this instance is usually an internal sense of identity, which we have spoken about. Tip I can give you is rebuild yourself through journaling, therapy, or affirming female friendships. It is so important for women who are pick-me's to have wonderful female friendships that affirm them. Because what I've noticed is most women who are pick-me's don't have a solid friend group of women. They don't. Their friendships are very surface level because they don't want to do the work to nurture those relationships. And 9 out of 10 times, everything in their life always involves around who they're dating, who they're married to. And there's never really space for the other women in their lives, which is sad, because I believe that pick-me's do not know how to be better friends. They cannot, because they only seek male validation, which then fuels their self-worth. Sad, to be quite honest. Before we get to the fifth and final sign that you are a pick-me, we are going to hear from a lady who is going to instill some wisdom. She is a recovering pick-me, so let's hear from her. Roll the clip.
Y'all have to remember, I'm 46 years old, so you are seeing a mature woman. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was a certified pick-me, okay? I had a weave, I talk about it all the time, like I had a weave down to here. And I was a married girly with my ring and my Range Rover, and I thought I was better than other women because I was married. I had my wifey brunch on Saturday with all the other wifeys. Like, I've gone through those stages. And what I've come to realize is all of the pressure that I was under to live that life. And that life really did not serve me and did not serve my best interest. And so the courage and the confidence you're seeing is a 40-plus-year-old woman who's pissed off, who feels like I feel like I need to live my life for me because so much of my life was based on other people's expectations. So shout out to my Gen X women. And I want more of y'all to post about the ways that you've changed. Y'all, trust me, I had bundles. I had a whole hair weave, honey. I'm a different woman now.
What I really liked about what she shared was how her self-worth was tied to how she looked, what she did. Like, it all was very superficial, and how she continued to do that to spite her friends. And that is what most pick-me's do. I love how now she is embracing who she is and encouraging other women. You can still be in a relationship with a man and still not be a pick-me. That's why in my other video, please go watch, where I talk about decentering men, it doesn't mean that you hate men. It just means that you want to be an equal participant in that relationship without you diminishing yourself or being required to silence yourself to be in this relationship. Last and final sign that you might be a pick-me is you judge women who choose themselves. And I think this is the entire discussion. This is the hill a lot of people are willing to die on. Women who are pick-me's judge women who are not. It happens. Especially if you are single, independent, and ambitious, you are not a favor of the pick-me's. They hate you pretty much because they don't see any value in being independent or being ambitious and not having a man near you. That is quite sad because those pick-me's are intimidated by women who think for themselves, women who are self-sufficient emotionally, mentally. And what's lacking in those women is empowerment and a healed feminine energy, because you can still be a powerful, strong woman with just as an amazing man next to you who affirms you and who uplifts you, who doesn't degrade you and silence you. So the growth tip there is celebrate other women's choices as a reflection of what's possible for you. Like, just because this woman is doing amazing things and they're single doesn't diminish what they're doing. I don't know why it is that with women who are pick-me's, for some reason, women who are single and thriving are a threat. Well, they're a threat to the patriarchy, yes, but I guess that's why they're pick-me's, because their value and worth is tied to the patriarchy. Oh my gosh, so sad. Okay, let's finish this off. Here's my affirmation for you. We've all been conditioned, all of us, myself included, and this is especially for Black or white women. We're constantly navigating cultural expectations, right? And navigating how we've been built to center men. The healing starts with awareness. Once you recognize that any of these signs kind of look like you, then you know what to do, right? If any of what I shared has hit home, or what other women have shared in the videos I've included, don't worry, okay? Growth is the goal.
You know what that is? It's growth.
We want you to not be a pick-me. We're not here to shame you, but I want you to share your thoughts if you are a recovering pick-me, or how you are choosing to grow in your individuality, in your authenticity, in who you are as the incredible woman you are meant to be, and how you are choosing not to center men. Because that's what it all is. A pick-me is just a girl who centers men, and her whole world revolves around that. And I hope that, you know, for the mothers out there, that they raise women and girls who are not tying their worth and who they are to the boys and the men around them. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.